crochet friends, welcome to Crazy Cool Crochet. This is Sylvia. In this project we're working on a blanket, or a throw, I guess. The size is approximately 54 inches by 72 inches. It's really cool, isn't it? I wanted to come up with something different from what you usually see in blankets. For me, it was really important to choose the right kind of yarn. I did not want a flat yarn, the color, so I went with Lion Brand Heartland, and they are heathers, so they've got little variations in the color running through, and that makes a huge difference in the outcome. And I used a number 5mm hook. You'll need scissors and the yarn needle. And we are using the mesh stitch, which is a really easy stitch. As far as how much yarn is being used, you'll find that information below the video in the description area, the description box that you have to open up manually. We are working toward 18-inch squares for the first portion. We'll start with the tan color and work 78 chains for your foundation chain. Then we're going to bring in the light gray for another 78 chains. So after your last tan chain, just grab the next color, bring it through. There's number 1 in the light gray. 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep going for 78. Then you will bring in the tan again. However, you're going to need to use a different skein. So we're going to have 1 block of tan, 1 block of the light gray, another block of the tan. So 78 light gray, attach the next ball of tan, 78 chains again. Now that we've got all our chains, we are going to start on the mesh stitch. So skip that very first chain, not counting the loop on the hook. Skip the first one, and the next one work a single crochet. Chain 1, skip the next chain, work a single crochet, chain 1, skip a chain, then work single crochet, chain 1, and continue that across. Skip a chain, single crochet, and chain 1. Until we get to the light gray. Now we worked our last mesh stitch, did our chain 1. We're going to skip the last tan chain, drop the tan yarn, pick up the gray. Make sure your chain doesn't get twisted here. Go into the next one to work your mesh stitch. Pull on the stragglers to tighten up your stitches if you need to. Do your chain 1, skip 1, then do your mesh. And continue down the row. Then when you get to the next tan section, switch yarns just like you did over here. When you get to the end of the row, you did your last single crochet into the last chain, chain 1, turn. Now you work a single crochet into each single crochet below. So we'll start with the first one. Just go right into that center of the single crochet. Single crochet, chain 1 as always, and then go into the next single crochet for a single crochet, chain 1, into the next single crochet, chain 1. Okay, so you're working your single crochet on top of a single crochet, the chain 1 on top of the chain 1, or over it, not into it, over it. Work your way down until you get to the light gray. When you get to your last tan stitch, it's going to look funny, so you're not going to be sure if that's the stitch, but it is. If you turn it around to the front, you'll see there's your stitch. So just work into the stitch as best as you can. Bring the yarn to the front of your work. Grab the light gray, do your chain 1, and now continue into your stitches. It looks messy. We'll be able to tighten everything up and clean it all up like that. Just continue working row after row the same way, changing your colors the same way. The only thing you need to remember, keep in mind, keep your strands to the same side. Okay, so this one we'll call the front side, although technically it's the back. But it's to the front of the work as you are working it, okay? So keep this one to the front, which means the next one also to the front. Okay, continue working, chain 1 turn, continue your mesh stitches, and this time the yarn will be to the back. Of course, you will pick up the gray when you get over here. So then you will keep the tan to the back. Okay, so all of your strands are on the same side. So here is where I am so far. So if you recall, we are working in blocks, 18-inch blocks, tan, light gray, tan. So that would be 36 inches in length for the center section. 18 and 18, 36. Okay, so here are the 3 big blocks that you began with on the bottom. Then here is my second block of 18 inches right up until that gray. And then I did another 4-inch portion of the 3 blocks. This time I switched up the colors, light gray, tan, light gray. So now for the portion right here, I will leave how many rows I worked of each color. So it'll work for about 16 inches. Then we'll do the 3 short blocks, which should equal about 4 inches for that portion. Then beyond that, you're going to work this block again. So you're just going to repeat. After you work the 3 blocks here for 4 inches, then you're going to refer back over here. So we repeat that dark gray right there, and then we repeat the light gray, then repeat the dark gray, repeat the light gray, repeat, 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 all the way down, so that this ends up as your remainder of the 36 inches. Then you will finish off again with the 3 big blocks. To carry the yarn up the edge, if you don't want to cut off the yarn when you are changing colors and you want to carry it up, start your last stitch. You've got your 2 loops on the hook, bring in the second color. Rather than just pull it through, you want to go under the current color. And grab your second color, leave a tail, always leave a tail. So you've got a tail to weave through when we're done. Now grab the new color and now bring it through and do your chain 1. So now you're carrying the yarn up. It's not down here. Now go ahead and continue your pattern. In this case, I'm going to do 2 rows of the gray, and then I will come back, the light gray. And I would have carried this up the edge, so then I'll just be able to pick up the dark color and continue my pattern. And here is another view of the completed blanket throw. And just for reference, this is laying on a full-size bed, so it does cover pretty much from the foot of the bed to the head of the bed with no overhang. It's just flat on the bed, and that's just to give you an idea of the size. And of course, because of the way the camera is angled, those blocks look smaller than these blocks, but they're the same size. One idea I thought of when I chose the colors is this, because it's color blocks, because it's more of a graphic look and the colors are muted, well, not so much muted, but neutral, that this would make a really nice blanket for a man. A nice throw, I should say. It's more of an Afghan throw size on the larger side. But, you know, men don't like grainy square blankets and, you know, stuff like that. I think that they would much prefer something like this if you want to make a blanket for a man or even a boy. The written pattern will be at my Etsy shop, Crazy Cool Crochet, us.etsy.com. And I hope that you do come back for the next project. And don't forget to go to my homepage. Below the video where it says Crazy Cool Crochet, click on that. That takes you to the homepage. Then at the top of the homepage, click where it says videos. And that opens up the entire library of my patterns, or my designs, my tutorials. So thank you so much. Please thumbs up down below if you like it. Leave a comment. All those things are super helpful to the channel, and I do appreciate your support. We'll see you on the next one.